Okay. Hello, hello. Is it? Can you guys hear me clearly? I don't know. Is it live? Okay, all right. All right. We are here yet again for another session. So this time we have students who are, four students with us today. They are in their final year and they will be sharing their experience with us today, about their entire experience that they have when going to universities and selecting graphic design as their major and all that. So today I'll bring them over and our guests, we have Kevin, we have Jing, we have Joanna, and we have Teng with us here today. So the reason why we are organizing this session is just that to share with everyone, in terms of experience related to design or graphic design and all that. So I think it's individual efforts among us, me and my friends and the students and all that. So they come over here and they share their experience, and yeah, it's just things that we do maybe on a weekly basis. I don't know. Last week we have a session with Jihiro and Odudos, and this week we have the session with four students. So without further ado, I think I'm gonna bring four of my guests for today to the screen, and let's bring them to the screen. I'm gonna just make a few adjustments to the screen. Um, let's we introduce first Kevin to the screen. Hi, Kevin.
Hello.
Hi.
What's up,
I hope you're
everyone?
doing. I hope you're doing well there.
I'm good.
And
Thank you, Asri.
and I'll be bringing next is Jing. Oh, hi, Jing. Sorry, Jing. I know that
Hello.
you're about to
Um,
like to drink just now. No, no.
it's okay. Hello.
Yeah, Jing. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for being here
Yeah.
today. Um, let me bring Joanna to the screen as well. Hi, Joanna. You're
Hello.
on the screen. Thanks for being
Hello.
here.
Thanks for
And
having
as well
me.
as Teng on the screen. Hi, Teng. So these are four students that I have with me here, and they will share a little bit on their experience throughout their years in doing graphic design and all that. Even before graphic design maybe. So there are going to be a few questions, and for the crowd as well, if you guys have questions to ask, you can just type in. For those who are on YouTube, you can type on the comments on YouTube, and for those who are on my Facebook, you can just type reply comments on the Facebook live feed. So, without further ado, I'm going to start with the questions. I hope you guys are ready. But first, how are you guys today? Are you guys doing well this weekend? Um, maybe
Yeah.
Kevin, how are you? Yeah,
Yes.
So
you guys doing all right, right?
Yes, of course.
hanging
Are
in
you
there.
guys
It's good.
are you guys
Relaxing.
like on
Enjoying our
semester
STEM
break?
break, our
Yeah.
Yeah.
During the last few moments before
Yeah.
our semester starts again.
That's true.
I see. All right. So I hope you enjoy your break, and when you are starting the new semester, you start with a fresh eye and looking forward to produce more work and all that. Why Joanna is like that already?
Just thinking about it is like, oh,
Okay. Let's move to okay. Let's go on with the questions that I have here for you guys. Maybe we can start with the first one. So why graphic design in a way that why you choose GD? Maybe Kevin can proceed in answering that. Maybe.
Um, I feel like because like I like to explore, and like sometimes I have always like have to be like curious in any things that I do. So usually like sometimes when I tend to find like inspiration from like daily things instead of like through Google or like Pinterest. So actually all of these it challenge my mindset to like to like think differently, so that in many of the aspects usually when it relates to designs, like for example communication, critical thinking, experiment. So this is all of these in categorized as graphic design. So yeah, this is one of the thing and why I consider graphic design.
So graphic design, so you really have the passions of graphic design in like before even you chose graphic design, in a way that you already know that graphic design is the one that you want.
Yep.
So yeah, okay. So that's nice to know. I mean, you know in the beginning that you want to choose graphic design. What about others? I mean, you don't look at other major or maybe like animations and all that, or just straight away graphic design.
Actually, initially, I really like to take photos, like consider photography at the beginning. But then later, when I started to like editing images, then I started to be like very curious into like the software skills like Photoshop, and then after that, later slowly Illustrator, Premiere Pro. Because you know, in picture, you can do like so many things. You can do like photo manipulation. You can even do like montage or like maybe take video, shoot video, or anything they eat. So from there, it actually build up my curiosity to like try new things during the process. Then from there only, I just like, oh, okay, I think graphic design is the choice for it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So right, thanks for that, Kevin. So we're gonna move to another questions that I have here. Why? Well, not Kevin. I'm gonna go to Joanna. Joanna, so what your family think when you first tell them? I'm sure all of you have stories why you chose GD and all that, and I'm sure you have one too. So how did you inform your family that you want to? Because we have a lot of experience, like students have to convince their parents in taking graphic design, because sometimes parents can be,
Yeah.
What was your experience like?
The funny thing is actually my parents encouraged me to do graphic design.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I didn't know. Because like back then, I mean, before I entered college, I didn't know got such thing called graphic design. Like I thought like graphic design, but then like you don't know what graphic design. What do you do as a graphic designer? Like, I didn't research about it. So then but before that, I like to do a bit like some art stuff, DIY craft,
Such as?
some calligraphy. Then like those DIY stuff are those like craft thing. It can be like sewing and like everything. It's like really ugly, but like some form of creativity. And then
Okay.
I took some pictures as well, so it was kind of like that. Then
Oh yeah. Adding on to that, if you guys get a chance to visit Joanna's Instagram page, she did, upload a lot of nice, a nice compilation of photos of, throughout. Yeah. Kan?
Go support her, guys. Go support her.
Yeah.
nice, eh?
Okay.
So I think because I didn't know what this thing was, like this art thing, this design thing, that I didn't know it was such a thing. And then I think after like after SPM, then you're like deciding where to go and stuff. Then I think it was brought up to my parents. I think, oh yeah, somebody said like graphic design. So what's that like? Yeah, sure about that. And then they were like, yeah, like they're like, okay, then like you research like where like to do graphic design, and then you go for it. Like there wasn't much objection or kind of thing. Yeah, it was,
I understand that you went
yeah.
for diploma and all that, right? And then diploma
Yeah.
and then degree. Okay.
Yeah. So generally, my family was quite supportive. Actually, very
Good.
supportive. So yes,
Yeah, good.
very thankful.
Yeah, some like, for example, like even in my experience, we are in a different age. Different age. During my time, I had to do a little bit of explaining lah to my parents, like that. So, so maybe by your time, it's the field of graphic design has a little bit matured in Malaysia as well.
By our time, huh?
Yeah, it's like everywhere already. And,
Gen Z.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for that. What about Teng? What motivates you in sticking with GD? I'm sure you also have stories and all that. What motivates you? You are in final year students, and then I think you produce a lot of good work as well. That I saw. That's why I have you guys here. What makes you stick to GD for all of these years? Teng. Okay, Teng. I think connection issues. Okay, Ting just got disconnected. Okay, we're gonna move
Oh,
to
no.
Jing. What about
Oh
Jing?
no.
It has to be Jing.
Yes, me. Of
Yeah.
course, I'm next. Right. So, what motivates me to stick with graphic design? I guess, like in general, like graphic design is an outlet for me to express like my values and like topics that I care about, as well as expressing my creativity. So I think that's the reason why I'm like constantly motivated to learn more about graphic design, as well as like in our degree we get to learn like different softwares and like this design principles and all that. So like that's exciting to me, because I've always like constantly want to learn new software, new skills to like polish like in a way it's like it helps me to like express myself. Yeah, basically.
Okay, the same question. What about you, Kevin? What makes you stick with GD?
For me, it's a bit different. I would say is something like I see it always like as a challenge. Like if you relate it to like sports, you always have to like something like a competition. You always like have to compete. So when it relate back to design, it always like have to always challenge my mindset to always like always come out something new. Because ideas sometimes from scratch is always a bit difficult to come out. So when you always try new things, explore new things, and you challenge yourself, and then you can find your inspiration, your design to it. Yep.
Okay, Ting, are you back? Yeah. Hi, Ting. Welcome back. Same questions for Ting. Throughout the years, what makes you think that you stick to GD? Sorry?
I think the
Ting is
internet.
Oh, Wi-Fi.
Yeah, Ting
Internet,
is
yeah.
still
Okay.
experiencing connection issues.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get back to Ting after this with another question. So yeah, okay, let's have another questions I'm gonna have here.
I would say, right, like I'm
Sorry?
glad.
Oh, thing is back.
Oh, yeah, Ting still suffering connection issues. Calling for Ting? No. Yeah. Okay, if not GD, you guys, I mean, throughout the years, if
Am
not
I-
GD, what would you do? In a way, Ting, your connection is yeah, Ting is experiencing connection issues here and there. Maybe Ting can also reply in the chat. I don't know, in the comments area. Okay. Wow, we have a lot of comments here as well. Like graphic design is my passion. Yeah, like for example, here we have Nadia saying
That's
graphic
my
design is my
friend.
passion. Yeah, thanks for being here, friends
Oh
of
my
Jing.
God.
Yeah, for Sleepy Kwan, of course, we have ambulance because we live at home and we're living at home. Sometimes there's ambulance going on here and there, so
Oh.
please bear with us. Yeah. Ting, can you hear me well, Ting? Yeah, her connection issues is still.
Yeah, I think she's stuck.
Yeah.
All right.
Loading.
So yeah,
Yes.
Joanna, if
Okay,
not
you will hear
GD,
me.
Hey, thing is back.
Can hear.
Can hear.
it's like sometimes yes, sometimes
It,
no.
it's like stuck.
Uh-uh. Okay, so Joanna, if not GD, what will you do other than GD? Since that everyone is asking you to do GD and all that. So if not GD, what will you do?
Honestly, I don't know. Like I really like some days I actually do think about it and I just can't like I can't
Imagine.
imagine. Yeah, like any other like course or any other
What
line.
what were you like thinking about? Because you said
Ah.
before this you didn't think about graphic design, right?
Yeah.
Then
I mean, it was like an open question. Like I wasn't like I'm gonna grow up and be an accountant. Like it
Maybe
wasn't like It wasn't like, no, I am so bad with math. It's like, it wasn't like cita-cita saya is to become accountant. Like, it was just like, whatever. At first, I just thought I was gonna do a gap year and do like some photography or something, like freelance lah. And then I talked to a friend, and then she was doing like a senior. Then she was doing, she's few years older than me. Then she was doing graphic design. Then she's like, hey, I see like you do calligraphy and all that. You want to try graphic design? You want to try graphic design? I was like, okay, whatever graphic design is. If it's like doing art, then sure. I mean, like, I didn't think about it. Like, I really, like, I think the first few years of like diploma, like when I baru masuk college, like I didn't even know like what a graphic designer does. Like I roughly know.
Actually learning when you
Like I roughly know like, oh, packaging, that's graphic design. Like, oh, that's very smart. But like I don't even know like what an actual graphic designer does. Like compared to like now, I'm like, oh wow, there's like so many things you can do. You know, there's like UI, UX, there's like illustration, whatever.
Yeah.
But like back then, it was just like, let me just go. But if it's not that, then honestly, I don't know what I would do. Just because I don't know.
But have you guys like do? Yeah, yeah, you picked the right choice, Joanna. I think you are very suitable in doing graphic design.
Oh
So,
wow, thank you.
have you guys did anything other than graphic design? I mean, like before graphic design, for example, like me, I did business for 1 semester and then I quit. Any of you did something like that before when you first started?
Thing.
I think so.
Thing. She has that experience.
Yeah,
Think it's
but
bad.
her question.
Her
I think
Wi-Fi.
she did.
Thing. Maybe they use data. Maybe I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna put a thing off the screen. She's like very
Hello?
stuck and very.
Oh wait, she's here now. She's here now. She's here now.
She's
She's
here.
here. She's here. She's here.
She's stuck.
She's not.
So it's
here.
every time we talk, every time we say something, then she'll get stuck. So
Sabar ya, sabar.
It's like a silent moment.
Okay, I'm gonna put thing off the screen because it's like not nice seeing her stuck like that. Like
She's smiling though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have questions. Have questions from the crowd. There's one question here, kind of interesting. Before I move to another questions from my list, like from Farah Diana. Farah, well, for you guys who have small side businesses, I think somebody got side businesses. How do you guys like balance between freelance work and studies? Because I'm sure that some of you have like a little bit of freelance going on here and there. Yeah.
Should I go ahead? I mean, I get this question a lot from like friends and people, and honestly, I can say that it was bearable when I was still like in like foundation or like first year of graphic design. But I think like as I progressed into year 2 and year 3, my work started getting heavier. So my small business was kind of like, I had to like, a lot of like personal schedule was like sidetracked. And I think like over time, I have like my family, like my sisters and my parents kind of helped out a little bit with my, it's like a family business already.
Family.
Just family. With my business. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to balance, but it depends what you prioritize, I guess. Like sometimes I try to, like certain days I prioritize like doing my work, then certain days I'll work on my side business, you know. So I wouldn't say I'm good at balancing, but I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah, if you want to check out more of when Jing works, she go by the name of Jihiro on Instagram.
It's been said. It's been said.
So you can search for.
Go follow her up, guys. Go follow her.
Was it Jihiro here last week?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have no idea.
Yeah.
It
Are you a
seems,
big
it seems
fan?
very familiar, you know.
If you look at the
Wow.
Are you a
banner
big
down
fan?
there, the G Hero,
Muka
G
macam
Hero
sama
dot
je.
Yeah,
car.
macam familiar kan. Pernah tengok je.
Yeah, we had her last week for the Procreate session. You can view the recording of it on the YouTube as well if you want to view the previous session. Yeah, thanks for the question, Farah. Would you like any of you guys would like to add on that on the small side business kind of thing? Tak ada. Joanna,
We
Kevin.
don't have small side business.
Okay.
Freelance.
I think
No.
I think like we don't have like an established or like we are selling something or we're doing something. It's just like naturally
Yeah.
like if you like people who know you know that you like illustrate or do graphic design, then probably like friends or just like mutual friends will be like, hey, can you help us do this? And then from there you kind of just get some side jobs, but nothing too much on the we're like opening graphic design
Yeah.
studio, like a store or something like that. So that kind of side business
Yeah.
got lah.
Just a bit here
Yeah.
and there, everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, because like friends of friends, like suddenly they know that you can design and all that. You just like, can you
Yeah.
design something for me? Can you
Yeah,
design something for me?
Yeah.
And all that. So yeah, helping each other out. Hey, why it's blank? So yeah, let's move to the next question. The next question is a bit intriguing in a way because it's going to be a bit tough to answer because we have. I think your lectures are all here as well, maybe. So maybe let's answer this. Let's answer this question. Share your worst memory
Spicy.
you had
Hmm.
throughout your GDS. Maybe we can start with Kevin. Any like maybe deadline or something like that.
Actually, I have lah, but I think you guys are going to laugh. Trust me. It was
No, just go
back
ahead.
then-
We want to know.
It was
We want
it was
to
back
know.
then. It was back then during diploma in my Sem 4, if I'm not mistaken. So this project is actually is called, I think, mural paint at USJ Regalia Street, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's at there. So during that time, we was like doing the
I'm just gonna
design,
put it there lah.
paint at the wall, and
Popcorn.
it was so nice. It was so interesting, and we get to like learn how to paint like design on the wall. So that was really interesting. And that time I was standing at so nice. Got one spot. It's like in the middle. I was painting, and my left and my right side there is two persons standing painting. Then I thought something dropped down from my head. Then I look up. Oh shit! It's a bird poop on my head. Then I was like, I was like, oh no! I think I got too good luck already. I was like, oh shit! I thought it's a bird shit. It was like, wow, it was so nice timing. I was like, yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Seriously?
That's nasty.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah,
do you
just
have-
I just
do
go to
you
the toilet and
change?
wash it.
Oh.
Change, it just dropped at the head there.
And the thing
yeah.
is that area was like there's no you have to use like a restaurant's toilet or like
Yeah.
somebody's like a store, like there's no place
Right.
to actually
we
wash.
we were different. We were
Yeah.
different different course, but we did mural design as well.
Luckily, I didn't smell it. I just go and touch it. I go and see.
Your heart like
It's
this,
a
man.
bird.
It's a bird poop.
You can use it to make art.
That's
Okay.
true, Kevin.
You're like white paint.
I think Teng is back. Teng, what was your worst experience? You can try.
Can hear.
Can
Can.
probably stay
Yes,
up,
yes.
like no
Yes,
sleep,
Ting. Hello.
no sleep at all for one of my projects. Like and literally no sleep, like 24 hours doing it. Then the next day is presentation. I had 1 hour to film the presentation video. It was not good, but I survived.
Oh my
so-
gosh.
Oh.
Dedication.
But you're here.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
survive.
See where you are.
You survived.
I know, right?
Yes.
I
I
survived.
think I think most of the GD students will experience that as well. Even me myself experienced that as well. When we were, I think if you ask anyone that that's doing like any sort of a design background, like animations or graphic design or anything like that, I'm sure they like stayed whole night long trying to finish some things and all that. I think everybody can relate when it comes to this.
I always wondered if, because like designers always talk about how deadlines are so crazy, and then like they're like, oh my goodness, we have to stay up or do like that. So I always wonder, okay, because I haven't like gone to the industry and stuff like that. So like I always wondered, right, whether it's like, do we have a lot of work, or are we just really bad at like
Getting things
our
done.
time?
Managing time.
Yeah. I always wonder, because it's like we have a lot of work, but at the same time, like, but like
That's because creativity, like creative things take time. Like you don't just get into it. It's not
Yes,
like
exactly.
studying.
but we
You
do
have to
procrastinate too,
develop.
though.
You have to develop ideas. And
Yeah.
I think procrastinating is like a form of, like, it's part of the process.
Yeah. Well, because
sure.
somebody
Wow.
says here, it depends to your boss. I don't know.
Oh.
sometimes I think maybe I think Sleepy Kwan says, you have Sleepy Kwan here saying it depends to your boss. Maybe because sometimes the requirement changes and you need to do a lot of changes every now and then. It depends. Then even though if you plan it early, then things can still change as you go. So maybe even in the last hour, you can still change stuff. Yeah. The project has to be managed correctly in a way, and it has to be clear, like in the beginning as well. It has to be clear, like how you plan it out, how you want it to come out for the clients and all that. I don't know, maybe Ting can answer it. There's somebody says that Kaisha says that, is the project that Ting talked about has anything to do with fish?
Fish.
What was it? I don't know. Well, I don't know. Maybe fish. I don't know. Okay, let's go. Let's move to another question.
Expression is like,
I don't know. Okay, let's move to another question. When we talk about just now, you guys talk about the worst memories. Anything you guys would like to add on this, like Jing and Joanna?
Sugar.
no bird poop lah.
Like sugar.
No bird poop. That's for
or
sure.
poop of any kind. Honestly, I can't really think of anything other than just
Worst-
like just the
worst is
deadlines
very-
and
It's a strong word, so
yeah.
I'd say that it's like
From the crowd.
there's a lot
from
of
the crowd
hard
as
times,
well.
of course. There's a lot of like moments where like I have mental breakdowns, but that's normal, right? As a student.
Yeah, Jing
Yes,
we are
constantly
here
to
she wants
encourage you.
to drop out.
Yeah, we are
It's
here
like
to encourage
a-
you.
It makes me feel
But-
better.
Jing's
Yes.
catchphrase is "I want to drop out." So
But I'm in year
She's still
3.
she's still
Yay.
here.
Don't run away. Don't run away. We are here.
She
I
can't
already
run away.
I'm paying.
Yeah.
I'm paying to do this.
Like for example, in
Our-
any like printing error and all that. I mean, I'm sure like for example, like me when I was doing all the
Oh.
work, there's a lot of printing errors and there's a lot of time where you need to spend more money.
Oh yes, exactly.
You guys like experience that, or maybe
Thankfully, never reached that stage. I'm not, but also because now everything's online, so but also that
Yes.
yeah. But Joseph, Ting said something.
But
No, I just
But
say
Ting?
because it's okay. Never mind.
Why?
just say.
It's okay.
Just say it's
My
okay.
You
wife
can-
is so
you can
bad.
say
like, my wife
something
is
now.
sabotage me constantly.
It's okay, thing now. Now it's
Now we
better.
can hear you clearly.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
Wi-Fi
now
wants
it's
you to
better.
spill the tea.
Go on. What's your
My
memory?
wife is like, no, don't spill it. Don't.
No.
Maybe that's
The worst
It's
maybe
allowing
that's
you. It's
Ting.
allowing
Isn't
you.
that
Maybe that's Ting memory. Worst memory with bad Wi-Fi.
oh my god, that's so true. And computer lagging. Oh my.
Yeah. Blue screen.
Oh yes, blue screen.
Blue screen.
Yeah, I think that's
It's
what
always
everybody
due to like
experiences.
the technologies.
Yeah, always technology is always the issue with with us that producing the work, because the reason why is because we graphic design, we use heavy software, like all those Illustrator, Photoshop. Sometimes we use multiple applications at the same time, so our computer sometimes cannot handle it, and it keep on crashing and all that, and yeah, that can happen in a way. And then maybe your worst memory as well, I don't know, all the files are gone, forgot to save lah, you do like whole day kind of a work and then you forgot to save, and all
Yeah,
that.
that's happened before.
Yeah.
Just
So
cry
yeah.
and move on.
Cry and move on. That's a very good advice.
Yeah, just cry and then what to do?
Okay. When we talk about worst, let's talk about the sweet memory that you guys have throughout your GD years. How was it? Any sweet memory?
Our worst memory is also like the sweetest memory because we are all in this together for one project.
Oh,
I like how it's a group project, but it's also the worst thing that I have ever experienced. That's all.
Group project. So group project is good and bad at the same time. So group project is a how to say, it's a blessing or not a blessing?
With
Group
the right
projects.
people, it's a
And also
blessing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. If you work with the right people.
Yeah,
Yes.
honestly, like
Yes.
I know a lot of people complain about group projects, right? Like
Mhm.
you always hear like not just graphic design, but like in general, like somebody's probably MIA or don't do it or something like that. But I think like when you like work with the right people, I think all of us here and a few others have definitely been in the same group project before, and it's like it really goes well. I mean, of course there are like some setbacks or whatever lah, but I think like it definitely like it wasn't so like frustrating because like you trust that everybody is going to play their part and everybody is good in what they do. So it's like you can
If
just
you're with the right people, yeah.
yeah. So I
I
think
mean,
in that sense,
yeah.
that's really one
I
of
mean,
the
I've had
good parts.
moments where I had to, like, me and another friend, Aziza, she's here. I remember when we had to carry our team for like two projects, like in the same semester, I think, if I'm not wrong. And that was very, very tiring. But it's also a sweet memory because I remember staying up with her a lot, like till like 5 a.m. trying to finish. Like both of us were having mental breakdowns together. So that's what makes it, good because we're like,
bestie vibes
sick of this.
only.
Speaking of staying up, I think recently all of us also we were rushing for one of our final projects, and
Oh yes, exactly.
we decided to do study dates on there's this platform called Butter on the browser. So like I think we would we just be like, hey, tomorrow 9 o'clock or whatever, and then we'll go together, and then we set timer so that
Yes.
it's like the Pomodoro timer. So we do it for like 20 minutes on and whatever, like 5-7 minutes off, and then
exercise.
yeah. So like yeah. Then we do exercise in between just because we're like sitting there, and we do it like I think like morning to
ourselves awake.
lunch, and then sometimes after lunch we don't come because we're like sleeping or something.
At
And then
night, like, after
yeah, at
dinner.
night, yeah, after dinner, and then until like 1-2 a.m. It eventually got later as the days go by.
Yes.
Until like 5-6 a.m.
Until next day morning. Also
Yeah, until the next day, which was presentation day.
Yeah. I think that's what you guys can do online. I mean, if it's a physical setup in a physical setting, I'm sure you guys will like meet up and stay somewhere, and do the work all together. I think that is really nice.
But it was good accountability lah. Like we did get work done rather than being alone. Yeah.
So speaking about get work done, let me share a few of the works that has been that you guys did. Some of the projects that you guys did. So let's see if it's worth the things that you guys are doing for all the hours that you did just now. Okay, I'm gonna share. I'm gonna share it every now and then. Now I'm gonna share just one work. So later I'm gonna share work from any one of you as well. Okay, I'm gonna start with Joanna's work. Maybe you can also explain this work to people who are here with us today.
Woohoo!
Yay!
Yeah, this
I
project.
hope so. Oh, yes,
So
this
this is
was
one
one
of the
of the
project. Yeah,
publication. Yeah.
yeah. So
Well, I really like food. That's like the shortest answer. I just like food so much that everything I do is surrounded around food. So actually, this came about when because I like coffee. I mean, yeah, I like food, and so you know how Malaysia we have like our very own like kopitiam. There's food in it. There's coffee. There's drinks, and then there's like the cafe. There's like the fancier side, and like the younger generation is usually more like towards the cafes, and everybody's on Instagram and stuff like that. But then like we also have like our local kopitiam, and I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people out there who loves their tepeng and who loves their nasi lemak, their pan mee and stuff like that.
cooking.
So I was just thinking like, you know how gatherings back then kind of different, like what coffee meant, and then like coffee today as well, why people go to certain places and how they meet. And so in this publication, it kind of explored the setting and like what interior, how it looks like, exterior differences. And also because like kopitiam has so many stores, whereas like a cafe is just one like owner and then one menu. And then kopitiam, there's so many drinks. Like I even when I was doing research for this project, I was learning a lot because even I don't know how to order. There's like the desi and I'm like really bad at all this local stuff. So I was like really embarrassed to actually approach this project. I was kind of scared, but actually like yeah, kopi C, kopi O, and then it's like condensed milk, evaporated milk, and then like there's just so many like kopi and kopi tao. Like what's the difference? So when I was researching on all this, I also got to like ask like my parents as well, and then other people who frequent the kopitiam, and also people who I talked to people who were really well versed in coffee, like towards the cafe side. So I got to learn about coffee in that sense, and then a lot about the anatomy of the food. Then when it comes to cafes, there's like themes as well, different themes and different food they serve according to the themes and like price ranges. So it really explored about cafes and kopitiam, literally kopitiam and cafe culture.
Yeah, so at the same time from the project, sometimes I think in doing all of this project, I think you also venture into it and then you're like also understanding it at the same time. It's not just like merely doing it just for a submission purpose, kan? But then
I mean, at first it was that. After like I researched more, then I was like, wow, there's a lot.
Yeah, a lot to discover. I mean, you discover a lot. Because throughout this culture is something that you learn as well on the mixtures, on the people who went there and then experience this kind of food and all that, because it's unique to us as well for Malaysian.
And kind of how kopitiam even came about.
True.
Our ancestors.
Okay, so thanks. This is a really nice work. Okay, that's all for the sharings of the work. Let's move on to the questions. Maybe Kevin can answer these questions that you have here. Any regrets, Kevin, in taking GD?
Any regrets?
Do you have? I mean, because you've been experiencing this. I think for Jing diploma as well. I think Kevin and Joanna did diploma.
Foundation in design.
Okay. So Kevin and I'm trying not to accidentally press any button to not to like quit this browser. I'm trying to copy paste stuff. For example, like Kevin and Joanna, you guys did this during diploma and moving on to degree and all that. So any regrets that you have throughout the years, or any like, oh my god, I made the wrong choice and all that. I mean,
regrets going to diploma?
Regrets in taking graphic design. After experiencing all of these things that you guys have.
No, never.
We gain experience, God.
Wow.
Yes.
So you say that you don't feel tired in doing all of this? You still
tired, yes lah. But everybody also tired. What? Everybody's job also tired.
Yeah, but at the same time, we also like enjoy and we like learn new things like along the way. At first, it
But
was
it's
like
so
a bit
fun.
difficult. Yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of fun though. Like one of the only things that actually like keep us going is like how much you enjoy doing design or any form of creative uh stuff. So like
like at times you don't mind staying up late and completing the projects and all that.
of course like nobody likes to extend deadlines and like go past their sleep time. But like it's like how to say all those like just the cons, but then the pros is like the only thing that keeps you going is just that you enjoy it. Like because
yeah.
if you like hate it, then it's like you completely like okay lah, I want to leave this thing lah. I cannot really. But it's
You
like
must love it.
yeah,
must
you
love
enjoy
it.
the thing lah. So got
Yes.
lah the deadline lah, the amount of things that needs to be submitted or completed is like a lot. Yes, but like it's like fun lah.
Yeah, Ting
It's like
connection
kind
is
of like
good
yeah.
now.
Yes.
Ting, what about you,
Okay.
Ting? Regrets from you? Any throughout the years of doing graphic design?
What?
Any regrets that you have throughout the
Oh,
years
I
in doing graphic design?
think, the other
She's
She's gone
That's my
again.
regret. That's my regrets right now. Agreeing to do this when my
what's your-
Wi-Fi is bad.
She said agreeing to do this was a regret.
Oh my god. Yeah, but it's nice. No, it's nice. In doing design, like coming up, for example, like the projects that you get. I mean, I shared Joanna's project just now. You're producing something. Maybe it can also be informative to other people who wants to experience the culture as well. Not just you doing it. But I think you are in the positions of being a creator. I think you guys have a lot of power in producing something in a way. There's a question as well. I think this one is targeted to Kevin and Joanna. Diploma versus degree. What was your experience? Was there any difference between the two, or was it like something?
A lot
Like,
of difference.
Just a bit. Yeah, like
Oh
the
really?
transition.
Oh, it's a lot of difference for me.
You wanna
But
start
Kevin
first?
can go first.
Oh,
Kevin can
okay.
go first.
Yeah.
And
also
before-
adding on,
oh,
sorry,
okay.
adding on to that, would you advise students to go for? I mean, Jing also can answer this. Do you advise students to go for diploma first or go for foundation first, and then straight to degree? Okay, and then focus on this question.
Actually, it's up to their preference. Like if they would like to learn more on design, they can maybe consider go to diploma first, because like diploma, we learn more on like the software skills, like how to play with this software. Like okay, this one how to design, do here, do there, and then if I'm not wrong, Jing, you want to talk about foundation?
Yeah, I guess the difference between foundation and diploma is, like Kevin said, diploma you get to learn more of like software and like technical skills. But in foundation, they teach you like a lot of critical thinking and like the design process in terms of developing an idea. So it really depends on what you prefer. Yeah.
So what about the transition between diploma and degree just now? I mean, Joanna, your experience?
Actually, yeah, what Jing said was pretty. That's like the summarized conclusion of the difference lah. But the transition, I mean, at the core, you're still doing graphic design, but it's just like more because you're digging deeper into like why you're doing what you're doing, and then it's not just that you're not just creating something for something. You gotta like
A lot of
think about it.
research.
Yeah,
Really,
like a lot of
Research, right?
a lot of whys, and so what if you do this like
The
it has
purpose.
already
Yeah.
been done, so you need to like one up that level. You need to not to be a better like in the best in that sense, but to like you need to make sense lah. Like don't just create for simply yeah.
Right.
So
There's
just
one
heavier lah.
comment here. Like diploma more on skill, degree is more on ideas and knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess both
really,
is good. Both would
Yeah.
be like going for both will be good lah. But like there are some people who don't go for degree, like who like just finished diploma, and they would still do well. So I guess it depends.
Mhm.
Different people.
Like degree, I think the lecturers are really making your life's hard to find the reason why to what you want to do. Mhm. Yeah. So
But at the same time, also it's good because it crack our brain to like think more.
okay, um, yeah, true. I agree on that, Kevin. It helps you to process. I mean, rather than just doing something in a way that producing something, you also find a reason why something is done. In a way, and look deeper, and has a deeper meaning in a way to all of your
Yeah.
project. Okay, there's a question here. What if no money? Okay, I'm gonna go to that question now. In terms of financial, as a student of GD, what you mostly spend on throughout the years? Yeah.
Stationery, printing stuff.
Okay, that was pre-COVID.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, that was
Oh.
pre-COVID. Now everything
I
is
think-
digital, so you save money on printing.
iPad.
yeah.
iPad is optional, yeah.
iPad, like it's an investment I made for my graphic
Yeah.
design process,
Mm.
I guess.
Yeah.
There's like let's say you want to buy the Wacom,
Oh
the
yeah.
drawing tablet thing, those kind of stuff. First of all, like the laptop it's the biggest
Hey,
bomb.
printing takes a lot of money too.
Printing is like in segments, like one semester, this one,
Yeah.
well, laptop is like one big
now
bomb.
we can't really print though.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah,
Like everything
that's true.
is online. Even the printing shop is closed. But yeah, if everything is normal, and 30%.
Oh my god.
Yeah, if it's a normal thing, rather than online, I'm sure you're going to spend hundreds and hundreds of ringgits on printing and
Yeah.
getting the paper and getting the tools as well, like paintings and all that, the materials. I think some of you are doing like a physical project as well. Like thing you propose in doing something physical last time, you need to knit something, like doing it online, doing it like a very physical projects and all that. Those at home maybe required a little bit of budget as well.
Sometimes there's no choice. You need to do.
It's
Like, yeah. What if no money?
Depends on your project.
Yeah, then you can do freelance work and get money. I
Maybe
think
consider
that's
work
right.
Be an option.
Spending much money doesn't mean the project is good. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
I'm gonna avoid
Yeah.
saying things because every time I say something right, it just lag.
No, it's working.
But now-
It's going.
Yeah,
fine
it's working now.
It's
The your Wi-Fi wants you to share this truth now.
Yes.
yeah,
Same
share the
thing.
truth.
Yeah, share the truth now thing. Yeah,
Nice,
you
like-
probably just need money to go for the course lah.
Yeah, correct. And somebody says that spend money on coffee as well. A lot of coffee.
Yes, I think Azri as well spends a lot of money on coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need to take care of our health also,
Hari-hari Starbucks.
Itulah.
No
No,
lah,
it's
not every day.
matcha. You would
Okay.
spend money on matcha, not coffee.
I make my own matcha, different. Save money sikit.
Okay lah, we do
Sikit.
Milo lah. We do Milo.
Homemade. Oh, somebody said boba. Boba doesn't help with the
It just no.
yeah, it doesn't help with
The
that
brain.
part.
I
It
think
helps
boba
with
is
making
more
you
like
more
a
full.
it's more like a you get work done and that's like a reward or something.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the work sharing session again. I will share Kevin's work. Yeah,
Yay.
Kevin's work. I think this is the recent project that is produced by Kevin for his final year. Well, not technically final yet, but this is the what that he did for that. This one. Woo!
Wow.
Yes.
So the mindset of colors. So can you like share us what is this project about, Kevin?
Yeah, so basically is illustration book I did is focusing in colors in children mindset. So I use children, targeted children like from the age 6 to 10 years old, like as a form of experimentation to research and gather information to find out more than just the color itself in an illustration book outcome. So this book showcases, like you can see, there is like a lot of colors I try, explores. It's not only just like illustration based on like digital. So this one I'm using like a mixed media. So like I have to like take picture manually, then after that like compile it. So this one actually like take quite some time to do, but yeah, I would say the overall outcome I do like it because like you can touch up, you can do a lot of things when you put into digitalize it. Then as for the message of this book, it is to mainly to experiment and educate the children's curiosity towards colors through their mindset. So as a result, it actually teaches the children on how to see colors in a different perspective through their child imagination and creativity. So all of these, the book in the content, is actually like a question. So children they have to like guess and something like a hint or clue they like have to answer based on what they think towards it. So it's like I don't give them direct what they need to do, but then I actually play with their mindset and try to stimulate, like interpret it differently in order for the children to be like curious, like what is this about, it seems very interesting, right? Yeah, so must make them something like this to like try new things. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes seeing a mundane object in a different way and combine it and make it up like this can also create new things, like using coins to make this and using socks to make all the patterns, mixed media, different kind of ways of making the patterns and all that. I think that's nice. Anyway, I do have another project that. Can I also share another project, Kevin, which I think is kind of nice as well?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, from you, which involved the drawing as well. Like for example, this one, Daughter Harmony, by Kevin Tan. Yeah. Yes.
So
Can you
actually
also
this one
explain? Yeah.
is like this one is a competition project I did for my graduation project. So actually this one is I did is digital, but then I like manually do it like color, something like I use color pencil, crayon, like mix a bit plus digitalize a bit, and then I digitalize it. Yeah, so like during the process, at first I find it a bit difficult when I do, because like when you do use color pencil or watercolor, sometimes you tend to do mistake, and then there is no undo button. Usually when you do in digital,
Yeah.
when you undo things, it's very easy. But then when you do in paper, it's like a big mistake, then it's like, oh, you can't undo back. So it's like, yeah, that's the thing I encounter. So it's like this overall, the message is about to dedicate the book to all children around the world to explore colors about nature in a mesmerizing way. So bright and wonderful colors always amaze us in anything that we do. So we always have to like explore our boundary to seek more on the colors of nature. So I would say like nature is always colorful. Come and see for yourself. So yeah.
Yeah, because I can see like the transition between the non-color part in the beginning, and then in the mind of the child, and then suddenly when they explore towards the book, and then everything became colors and explored in the colors of the nature and all that, which is I think
Yeah.
it's nice in terms of the transitions of the the things that is happening inside a brain of a child, in a way. Yeah, I kind of like this one, this work, and it's intentionally done like this because the target audience is to children, right? So it's
Yes.
intentionally done like this so that the children will be more, um, you know, looking at this as something that is wow. I mean, like
Yeah.
more forward for them, in a way. Yeah. So yeah, thanks for doing such work and sharing this to work here, Kevin.
Sure.
Okay,
No
let's move
worries.
on to the
Thanks, Asli.
questions. so, so Let's move to the question that we have from the crowd. I think this goes back to
Sure.
the very, very first questions as well. Like, how do you explain to your parents what you do, or anyone that don't understand what you do? How do you explain? Oh, this one lukis-lukis senang lah. Alah, design sikit senang lah. How do you explain that what you do? I think everyone, I mean, even me as well, experiencing this as well. Sometimes it takes a little bit of effort.
Sometimes have to like show it in another way to like make it easier to understand, not like just straightforward. Like have to, you know, easier the way, like method, I would say, like maybe through like visual, I guess. Yeah, so that like can easier to understand instead of like, okay, just like explaining. And then sometimes it's like, oh, this one is like really complicated. I can't understand what is it about. Yeah.
What about is staying here? How do you explain to your parents and friends thing?
Correctly. Can you hear me? No, I'm gonna stay quiet.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Yes, can hear.
Okay. Grandma asked me before, right? Like what I do, right? So I when we were in shopping mall, right? Then I'm like, you see this packaging? Yeah, graphic design use this. You see like
So
the
cute.
logo,
So cute.
graphic design.
Yeah.
That's how I explain to my grandma lah. I don't know how to explain because like grandma is like, huh? So what you do? Draw only. Then I'm like,
Yeah,
no,
that's true.
it's about this
Pop,
also.
pop,
We
this
also
is
can do
packaging.
this. We also can do this. You know, there's a lot of things we can do.
Oh,
So like, yeah, that's how I explain to my grandma lah.
Correct. I
Someone
also
said use
explain.
memes.
Yeah.
Someone said use memes. I want to highlight that comment.
Use memes. Yeah, I can totally relate with thing. You know, for example, like me, when I explain it to my grandma, so you know, like those bottle like minyak yuyi cap limau and all that. Grandma, I did this lah. This is the thing that I do. You know, the design of this. You know, you see this thing minyak kayu tiga. What is it? Kaki tiga minyak kapak, minyak cap kapak or
The
something
kapak.
lah.
Yeah,
Something like that lah. So I also show the bottles like, okay, this is what I do. You know, like this is a logo and all that. What about Jing and Joanna? How did you explain? Well, Joanna, I think it's very clear. They understand, right?
Parents, yes. Usually family members, they know lah. But then, I think I got explained before. I just say like, okay, you go on social media, you go and follow one brand, you see the stuff that they always post on the weekly basis, on a daily basis, either promoting something, yeah, that's graphic design. Then they're like, okay, so yeah. It's either that or like what thing did lah. See this? Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to show like, okay, this is what I do. You know. What about Jane? Any experience when it comes to this? Do you find it hard to explain?
I think my parents pretty much know what I do, but like same thing as like thing like about my grandma. Like I think one of my projects I based it on her specifically. Like my grandma was like the main like subject matter for my project. So I remember like explaining to her like, oh, like I'm doing this project, and then like it's cute because she doesn't really understand like what I was trying to do, but she helped me along the way. So like after I was done with the project, I showed her what I did, and then she was like really impressed, like, wow, you did that, like, and yeah.
Oh,
That's cute.
yeah, that's nice. Yeah, you just have to show what you did. You know, you have to just. I think not just in the circle of parents and family, but you can also share it to the whole world about what you do. I mean, as a graphic design student, as a designer and all that, that is what it's supposed to be. You have to share your work with people. Then only people will see. Then only people like will experience your work and all that. You know, yeah. Even my parents, even sometimes they're trying hard. You know, my parents like 70 years old already. Like, what do you do now? Oh, cikgu. Oh, cikgu. You know, cikgu apa? Cikgu apa? Sekolah mana? But I'm like, you know, like, hello, university. Macam tu lah kan.
Bukan cikgu.
Bukan cikgu.
Educator.
Lecturer, like
Pensyarah,
that lah. So,
Inshallah.
so sometimes you also have to, you know, show them what you do. Because for me, when I was doing my degree, I also, because that time getting a good laptop and all that, it was expensive. So, you know, you have to make a proposal, like the reason why I need this laptop. I have to, like, you know, explain, like, okay, this what I need to do and all that. So it requires that, because they don't understand that. So that's how you have to explain to the parents, I think. Yeah. And there's another question as well. I think this one goes back to previous question. Let me think again. Previous question, like, if you could start your degree all over again. I mean, you are in the final year and all that. If you could start degree all over again, is there anything that you will have done differently?
Yes.
What?
Explain.
Design work. Design work, the way how I approach it was my work, like when I design.
In a way that you want to do like a design differently or something?
Yeah.
Okay, what about Jing, Teng, and Joanna?
I don't have an answer, but every beginning of the semester, I'm always like, okay, come on, this semester, get it all together, manage your time, sleep well.
What a joke! What a joke!
More like yeah, it does not happen.
wish-
So
Yeah.
yeah,
wish you the
that's the only
best.
thing lah. For any, like, yeah, I would tell myself, like, oh, you know, like, have some time management. I don't think that will change. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that would change for me personally. Like, that's just how I'm wired. I'm like, okay, I survived it, so I'm just like, no regrets. Okay, let's just move on. No more going back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Teng, what about Teng? How could you have like start differently if you do it differently all over again? Okay, Teng cannot hear us. Teng, no. Okay, Teng, no.
She's here.
Hey, she's here. I heard something.
She's here, but really cannot. We are like, oh, cannot. So, okay. Yeah, I think maybe different things can be done. Even I think when you go through this, right? I mean, but what's the point of looking backwards, right? We have to look forward.
Wisdom.
Oh, we have to look forward. Like just now, Joanna mentioned, better time management, better sleep quality.
That one is just dream goals only. Goals that never get
Next semester.
that will
Next
never met.
semester.
Ah,
Next semester starting
try
soon
lah.
already.
Try lah.
Can apply your goal there.
Yeah, I mean, look forward in producing like work and share more works with people. Even like your presence here tonight, sharing your experience and all that. I think that is valuable to people in a way. So yeah, I do have another questions as well. It relates to one of my questions as well in my list. But maybe I'll do that in the next time because I have a question for Crystal here. I think that one will be the last question. So we're gonna move to work sharing again by Jean. One of the work done by Jean.
Woohoo! Yes.
So
So enthusiastic.
we have. Oops. This
Wow.
This
Wow.
one. Wow.
Makanan.
Wow, sedapnya. Saya nak makan ni.
Cake.
Wow.
Cake. Right.
So
Oh.
this, I think
Oh.
this
lapar
project,
lah.
the name of this project is about everything about one thing. So the short is EOT. And
Oh, sorry, Mr. Asri. I think you have some.
There's some
Yeah, some some beep sound.
Like static sound.
Yeah,
It's really loud.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's better.
That's because he
Oh,
muted.
okay,
No,
now
no,
got.
we can hear it.
Yeah,
It's back. Yeah.
yeah.
Is it the AirPod?
Maybe good.
It's okay. We can wait.
Oh,
Yeah.
Eh, Tiber.
Oh,
Still
it's
got.
back the sound.
Still got.
Still got the sound.
Okay, let me try to connect and disconnect my AirPod.
I
It's
think
louder
it's
than
your
your
AirPods,
voice.
right?
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah,
one of us?
I think it's your
it's the
AirPods.
AirPods. AirPods selalu ada.
Maybe Jim can explain the
Ayo,
word.
no slender here lah.
He said, Jing,
Okay. Talk
Jing,
about
go
your
on.
project first.
Yes,
Yeah.
I cannot hear. Go
He said,
on.
Jing, yeah, just explain.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, explain.
Right. So this is one of my projects that I did for one of the subjects. It's called Celebrating Moments. It's a book. It's like a compilation of several stories. So what I did, like this project was, because my projects are always about people's, like learning about people's stories and like translating that story and helping them like convey it. So this book, it's a cake book because it's called Celebrating Moments. So basically, I posted a survey like to ask people to submit their stories about things they felt like wasn't like worth celebrating at the moment, but they felt proud of. So in this book, I received many responses which I went through like, and there were really like touching ones. Some were sad, some were really happy, and then throughout the process, I learned a lot about different people from all around the world. And in this book, I compiled 10 of them, and each story has its own cake. So I translated each story based on what the story is about. So, like for example, this one, it's about self love. So the cake is like a heart shape, and then it has the word self love on it, as well as another like personal touch I add to it was like this person's from Singapore, and you know how Singapore's like one of the most used slang is like I put there like kiasu, just like to add like a little touch of like personalization like for them. Like as you scroll, like you can see like each story would like comes from like different like people around the world. So I think that's what makes this book kind of special. And yeah, you can see like this one is about this is like I wouldn't say this is like a angry story. It's more like this person was like expressing about how um they they had like friends who were not supportive, and they kind of found their worth after like leaving them behind, which explains like the cake that I decided to draw. Yeah. You can move on. Yeah, so like there's like 10 stories in total. Yeah, so each of them have different cakes. Like I tried my best to illustrate them in like a consistent style, but at the same time in like different variations. Yeah. Yeah.
Noise.
Yes. Nice.
Yes.
So that's basically like the premise of the book. Yeah. Are you guys want to buy the book? Can.
Yes. We
I
all want
want-
a copy. We
I
all
Yeah,
said
your
can, but
friend,
I'm not actually sure.
We want it to
Yeah.
come with cake also.
Yeah, we are your first
Can
customer.
lah.
One slice cake.
Yeah, come with tiramisu
One-
cake
Ah,
and a red velvet.
Who's gonna bake? I'm gonna actually
You
poison
lah.
everyone. Like, thank you so much for buying my book, and then like I give you some
here's a cake.
crappy cake.
Hello, test.
It's
A
still
bit soft.
happening.
Yeah, still
Sir,
have
cannot hear you ask
Still
me.
happening.
So look like in a high frequency like that. Oh wait, Asri
I
cannot
think
hear.
you need to disconnect.
It might be your.
Right, this cake.
But he took out his
is
AirPods just
actually-
now.
Yeah.
Now can ah?
The story that we stopped on is related to BTS. Lol.
Hello.
Okay.
It's either my Wi-Fi or Mr. Asri AirPods. There's no in between.
And now your Wi-Fi is so stable.
It's Mr.
Yeah.
Azri's
like,
AirPods.
Now it's my problem.
It's his AirPods.
Wow, think Wi-Fi is good.
yeah, but Mr.
Now
Asri is, oh my god, I said Mr.
Yeah.
Asri. I should say
Asri.
Right.
Oh my god.
Asri.
Asri.
Azri, you good?
Asri. I do like Asri.
What? Am I
Asri, are you there?
Okay, so there's some
Um,
technical difficulties. I think we're just supposed to talk. So
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone
Yeah.
has any questions?
Yeah.
Hello?
Do you guys
were
have
some
any
questions.
spice to ask? Any
it
spice?
There
better
were
now?
some questions. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I did.
Is that
Oh
there
my god,
buzzing
it's
still?
better
No.
now.
No,
Yeah.
because I was afraid to refresh, because if I refresh, right, I thought that maybe it will end this thing. But okay lah. Okay ah.
Oh,
Okay, ah.
so you refresh ah?
Yes, I did refresh.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's better now.
We were so scared. We were gonna go solo. We were like, okay, let's
Yeah.
go.
Oh,
man.
okay.
Who asked you this
Joanna was
question?
about to take over as a moderator.
Yeah.
already.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
no problem.
Backup
Boleh.
moderator.
Okay, I think since things internet is good, we're gonna
Yeah.
proceed with things work,
Yes.
Yeah.
sharing
Yes.
straight away.
Woohoo.
Let me share. Maybe when I share my screen got problem ke? I don't know lah. But we shall see. If I share my screen again, will it?
She's stable. She's stable now.
Yes.
This one. This one. This one. Yes.
Betul.
This one
Okay.
is things work. Yeah.
Yes.
Go on.
So this is a storybook that is for a competition. I think it's like the Golden Pinwheel Storybook Competition. So this book is actually, you know how like stress, right? It's hard to how say, like you can't see stress. Stress is like something intangible. So to visualize and to explain stress towards children is hard. So this book is inspired by like the idiom "there's a lot on my plate," right? So basically, food is the metaphor for stress in like the children's life. So like the story follows like my Jay, where he's like, oh, I'm really stressed about a lot of things. So he went to like this school where they teach about like how stress could be visualized in terms of in the form of like a plate. So so then like what happened is that they will say like example this girl where she is like the Emma. Okay, so Emma is stressed about having like her teachers that is constantly scolding her. So what happened is that strawberry cake will appear on her plate every time when she thinks of something stressful. So it follows on with this format. Like example, study stresses these kids out, and then a burger appears on his plate. So food is the direct metaphor for stress in a children's life. And the thing is that stress and the way we cope with stress is different. So like I use different plates and different like flavor and like food to kind of represent each person's like stress in their life and something like that lah. So yeah, that's basically like the whole overall theme of like the storybook. And towards the end, it introduces like solutions as well as the problem. Like example, like if there's too much stress, right, the plate will be overflowing with food. And the best way to reduce stress is by sharing your problem. So like you share food with people as a way to like explain to kids that it's okay to share your problems with people because it reduces stress. So that's kind of like the moral of like the overall story. Yes, that's all.
Wow.
I would
Wow.
love this, like every
Food.
day. I would love this in real life.
You mean to have stress
when
every
I-
day?
Just stress je kan?
when I stress je, pop, cake appear.
Yeah.
Stress je,
Makan,
burger.
Stress lagi.
But won't you be
So that-
full of
Stress eater,
stress?
stress eater. But you
So
eat your stress away.
Yeah, but then he'll be
Yeah.
full of
So-
stress.
I don't know.
That's true.
Just imagine
Who
that I
knows?
stress lah.
That's true, yeah.
Stress lah. Then pizza apa lama.
Oh,
Then I would love that to happen to me every day, so that
Then you
I
sell
don't
the
have to
food.
cook.
Then you sell the food.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so true. That's so
Yeah.
true.
Because it takes time to cook. Okay, like even at home nowadays, you don't go out. You cook something like that. So yeah, but really nice illustration. How long did you take for you to complete this illustration work and all that thing.
Oh no.
Thing?
Can you hear me again?
Yes. Yes,
Oh,
can
now we
now.
can.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
how long?
Okay.
How long did you take for you? Yeah.
The whole book would be, I think, around 3 weeks by 1 week, because the submission for the golden pinwheel is in 1 week, but then I didn't have enough time, so I just submitted the key pages. But the whole book takes around 3 weeks to compile everything, because I have to think of like the copywriting as well as like the character design, the layout design. So there's a lot of things that goes into like creating a storybook. Although when we first think, oh, it's just children's storybook, right? It's not that hard. But then like communicating to can you hear me? Yeah. That's all.
That's
Yeah,
true.
agree. That is because when it comes to the text that you write here as well, you need to understand how can the student read, how can the kids read and understand it correctly. Is the graphics okay or not? Sometimes because I think this book talks about a very heavy topic, like a sensitive topic as well, in a way that it talks about stress in a child, for example. So you need to somehow find a better way to communicate that without putting it right in front that it's bad, but in a playful way to discuss this heavy topic. Okay, I think that's all for the work that we have here. I think if for the crowd out there, if you guys have like more questions to ask, you can ask, because we are ending the session soon. Now it's already like 9 30 sorry 9:17, so we're gonna wrap up around 9:30 and all that. Yeah, we have a questions just now earlier. I think this can also be a takeaway question as well. What's next after? In my list, I have what's next after GD degree, and there was one question here as well. What will you guys continue? Will you guys continue to study after completing degree? Either further studies in doing masters of design and all that, or perhaps you prefer to go to the industry and work. What would you do? This is like a,
For
and then I think your mind is
me-
like blow.
Wow, look like K-Bite question. Oh.
Okay, can you hear me first?
Yes, Ting wants to
Can.
answer. Ting
Yes.
wants to answer.
Okay.
Let her go
Okay.
first. Let her go.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So for me, I was thinking that I want to like go to the industry first, get some experience, and then only if there's like if I really like don't like it, then maybe I would change like doing something else, like maybe freelance or maybe like independent artist. Taking masters has been on my list lah, but then it's not so soon yet. That's for me. Yeah.
Fuyo.
Okay, for those who don't know, and then I think the group agrees as well. Ting is the brain.
No, it's called big
Yes,
brain.
exactly. It's called big brain.
Big brain.
Big brain thing.
Yes.
Yes.
We
Highly
you know,
intelligent.
yeah, the group, even myself as well, when seeing the work, I think when you look at the work just now as I shared by Ting, you can see that the amount of details of research has been done in understanding the
Right.
subject matter.
Yes.
So
exactly.
And the way she approaches things is like her brain.
yeah,
Yeah, wow.
Future lecturer.
I know, right?
yeah.
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 She can become
The label is
professor.
big brain thing. Yeah.
Yes.
So what about Kevin? What would you do after your degree?
Maybe work.
You prefer to go to industry first?
Yeah, to gain some experience.
I think
Or
relating
maybe
to
try
this question
something
as
new.
well.
Oh,
Yeah. Relating to this question as well, I think Joanna and Kevin had like intern experience as well, right? Before, I mean, like,
yes.
yeah. So do you have a little bit of how industry is like? Yeah.
Yes. Seek it.
I mean,
you maybe you can share your experience on that as well. Maybe is that something that you are looking forward to after your degree?
Um, During my internship, I did advertise. I work in an advertising agency, and I would say it was really stressful. Yeah, and I was like just fresh graduate, so like I knows like how to say. I mean, I thought I knows like okay, I know how to design this, but then when I work, it's like oh, it's different. It's like totally different, and then in advertising agency, they usually like a lot of things they work in a very like rush situation. Like they give you this, and then by like today or like tomorrow, you have to like get it done. Get it done. There is no more like how to say extend deadline or anything. This is not project. This is client work. So it's like sometimes they will like ask you okay OT like until the next day morning. So it's like but at the same time, the good thing is you can gain a lot of experience because everything come in a very fast pace, and then you can even gain experience from the marketing side, learn how to liaise with client, how to like do different kind of thing. It's not only just a design. So because in design, they comes like a lot of different branch to it. Yeah.
What about Joanna?
In terms of internship experience, I'm not gonna shade the advertising industry. I know like a lot of people say things about them, but like I guess it's maybe not for everyone. I guess I like when I went there, I did see some people who like were really suited for it. I saw them, like, especially the higher the what do you call that, like
Yeah.
the creative
Creative
directors.
director?
They're really good at what they do, and I'm like they're suited for it, and they enjoy it. So I think like in that sense, that was like good for them. But maybe because I was not used to it, I don't know if that was because of that. Maybe I was not used to the culture, but I definitely learned a lot. Honestly, a lot of stuff that I apply to this day, like technical wise, I learned from my internship. In just those 3 months. So yeah, so it comes back to the why the like would I consider like leaving GD or something like that. It's like the only thing that kind of got me through internship was like even though it was hard, like because of the deadlines and like because it's not just one project, you're like juggling a few projects at once. So the only thing that kept me going was just how fun it was. Like even though it was like so much things to do, but you're still doing like design. Like it's fun. I don't know how to say. It's like yes, deadline, yes, clients say a lot of things, but like at the end of the day, at least it's design, it's something that I liked. So it wasn't
Just
like bad.
true. Just on side note, did your parents ever call you like, baliklah rumah?
God. Cause okay, most offices are in KL, so I don't stay in KL, so you gotta travel. So I think got OT until like 1 o'clock. So going on the train, obviously bad idea. So I think one time, I think like my parents kept texting me like, "Are you done? Like when are you gonna come home?" Because like they also can't like I think they won't go sleep lah. I think they also felt a bit scared. So I think when I was done at about 1 something, then my parents came from Selangor, drive down to KL to fetch me at like 1 a.m. like from the office lah instead of like because if I walk to the station alone and take the
Dangerous.
train,
First of all, there's no train at 1. Train close
yeah, I think that time
Yeah.
I was trying to like okay, let me try to end like before 12 I think. I was trying to like okay, let me try, but then I think in the end my parents came to pick me up anyway, so my parents are very supportive.
What about Jing? Any issues when it comes to that? Like I mean, do you want to continue like maybe further studies or maybe go and have experiences before? I think you have you done any internship before?
No, I've never interned anywhere. I think that's why I can't really say whether I want to, go out in the industry. But I definitely want to continue like with my own side business. But like based on like Joanna's like what she said, like even though like going to agency, like it was really hard, but you learned a lot, right, within that span of like. So that's actually what I want, like just to like gain that experience in order to like help me grow as a designer before I go off on my own. You get it? Like I want to get like the experience first. So
Yeah.
I'll definitely go out to work first.
Yeah, I agree on that. I think it's okay for you to join and get experience first, and then start your own fan base, so called, like your
She
client
already
base.
has a fan base.
No, not no, not fan base.
Network.
Not fan base. I mean client base. Oh my god, client base. Like client base in a way that after
Right.
that you make contacts, because the reason why you join is not because
Just to create
it's just
connection, right?
yes, the
Also.
connection, the community, the people that you hang out with, even something you're gonna learn something new. Like for example,
Yeah.
if you join this company, when you meet all of the big brands and all that, they have a certain
Yeah.
way of work, and it
Yeah.
teach you a lot
Mm-mm.
in a way,
Mm-mm.
and all that. I mean, and I also agree with Joanna. It's not for everyone, because some people just like the rush, because the
Yeah.
rush keeps them going day in and day out in a
Mm.
way. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, thing is got disconnected again. Okay, it's nearly 9:30. I think we're gonna go for the final questions of the day. Any advice? Like for those, I mean, you have experienced a few years of GD and all that. Would you recommend GD, and what would you say to the future students after SPM? Tak tahu lah nak pilih apa. GD lah. What would you advise them? Sorry, what would you say to them? Like, you'll be busy or something. What would you say to prepare themselves if they want to go for GD? This is a very tough question, I know.
To prepare?
Like to advise them, like any advice that you have for them, like for example, I just finished SPM kan, like kakak Joanna,
Oh, Adik
kakak
Azri.
Jing, kakak
Adik
Ing,
Azri.
Adik Azri.
abang Kevin, like I want to do graphic design. Any advice for me or not?
I think
What should I?
I think one
Go
of the
do.
things that a lot of people worry about, like you say, like after SPM, like one of the things that they always worry about is like, oh, do I have to be good in like using the softwares or like design or art in general? And I think no, you don't have to
I think
know
we all
anything
started.
going in.
Oh,
Like you don't need to know anything because you're going in learning.
yeah.
So that shouldn't be a huge issue as long as you're like passionate to learn. It won't be a big thing. So don't worry about that.
Wow.
And and it's all
Wow.
about experimenting. So like if you go in, don't worry about other people's like work or like just go at your own pace. Design is very it's subjective. There's no right or wrong. It's your personal learning experience. So
Take it one at a time, step by step.
What about Ting? Do you have any advice, Ting? I think your internet is okay now. Yeah, go on.
Go.
Continue what Jing said. I would say design. I mean, like graphic design is not just about like drawings and illustration. It's also more. Can you hear me?
Yes,
more,
can. We can hear you.
More?
More than that. Like there's more to graphic design, not just drawing.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yes, can.
Yeah.
Yes, more than that.
There's
More than that.
yeah.
Okay, what about
Price.
Abang Kevin
Price.
and kakak Joanna?
Abang Kevin, you nak pergi dulu.
Abang Kevin.
Abang Kevin, saya tak tahu ni Abang Kevin, tak tahu.
Maybe prepare like a good portfolio. Like it can be any. It's not necessary to be like specific art. It can be like just very random. Like anything that you like to do. Like for example, you like to draw on like, let's say, okay, BTS. Okay, you like to draw like fan art things, and then you draw like very nice, and then you got like inspire from there, and then like wow, I think I can like pursue my career to graphic design. Yeah, and then from there you slowly gradually try new things, explore new things, and yeah, you will finally reach where you are to a certain point. That yeah, it's just design. Design is to explore, curious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do agree. I do agree on Kevin's point because some university or colleges, once you want to enter, I mean, if you decided to do graphic design, there might be a slight interview or a slight how to say, like an art test or something, just to gauge whether you can do like a very basic task of drawings and all that. I think in today's world, not just like physical drawings, like analog drawings using pen and paper. There are also things that you can do with phone. For example, if you have like a mobile phone, you can download the app and you can just like draw with your fingers. I think Jing has experience on that. Shared last week, she shared that
Yeah.
she started using the Go ahead, Jing.
Okay.
Part
well,
two.
I started drawing because previously, obviously, I was young and I didn't have an iPad. But the passion is there, I guess, the passion to draw. So you gotta do what you gotta do, with what you have.
The calling.
And you
Yeah.
don't, no one starts with, with everything. So that's fine.
Yeah,
You
I think-
eventually get there.
Yeah, Jing, imagine like she shared last week, like Jing used iPhone 5. You know how small iPhone 5, right, Jing?
5S, yeah, iPhone 5. Yeah.
iPhone 5S. How can you imagine how small is the screen? And then she was like, doing
I'm
the artwork.
surprised too.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, if the passion is there, no matter what kind of tools that you have around you, just make use of it and make arts and make something out of the way. It doesn't have to be, tools doesn't define you as a designer, as a nowadays even films in theaters are made with iPhone, for example, or with Samsung phone. Why are we talking about brands? You're not sponsored, not sponsored by.
Can also,
If you
want
want to sponsor,
also can.
if you want to sponsor, can.
The username kat sini ya.
Okay. So,
Slide into our
Joanna?
DMs.
Yeah, Joanna?
I
Any
think
advice?
they've mostly said everything. Unless you need a portfolio to enter, then you gotta do that lah. But other than that, I always felt like the whole point you go to this course is so that you learn ma. So just go lah. But if you really like want to be ahead, or like at least understand what they're gonna talk about when you go in, maybe you can take a little bit of initiative. Go on Pinterest, just search up graphic design, and you'll see. You don't need to know how to do it or understand everything. But just to get a look, like to glance through, so that when the time comes, then you'll be like, oh wait, I saw stuff like that, so that you won't be so like, oh my goodness, what are we supposed to do? Yeah, so if you really want to like know more, then just search it up. It's on Instagram, everywhere. So
I feel like, before I entered foundation in design, right, I actually had Adobe softwares already, but out of curiosity, like I used to use Photoshop, but like when I got into foundation, I realized that I was doing so many things wrong. And it was just kind of funny because I'm like, oh, so this is what I'm supposed to do. Like my life was hard because of myself, I didn't know a lot of things.
Yeah.
So entering graphic design like teaches you like the basics, and it's like to lay down the foundation of design. And from there it's just a lot of your creative freedom and like your critical thinking and all that, right?
Yeah, because it's very like self or like own self do. So like you just be taught the basics or like the software or like the basics of design, just like rough guidelines, like nothing actually in depth. Because there's no like rule. It's only opinions and just like suggestions. Because like eventually you'll end up like doing your own thing.
Correct.
There's like a lot of freedom actually, I would say.
Yeah, that's a lot of freedom.
Yeah, because when you do the project, you first you have to decide what you want to do. Second, you have to decide your focus, and you have to decide, and then you do consultations and all that. So it's very flexible in a way. What kind of some project it depends on the classes. Not all classes. Some classes they set you need to do advertisement for commercial facial product. So and then it's up to you how do you want to do it. So
Or sometimes it's just an advertisement. Full stop.
yes,
Yeah,
correct.
just do an
It's
advertisement.
just an advertisement. An
Yeah.
advertisement.
For this
Anything.
branding for this
Print,
branding for that
video.
print for this yeah
It's an advertisement.
so you have to decide on the best approach because different brands and different branding they have a different set of criteria that you need to fulfill in a way fulfill I guess we are running a bit over time here, so I guess that's all we have the time for tonight. I would like to say thank you to all of you for being here and share your experience on your GD, your GD experience. So, to GD, I would like to conclude go back to the theme of this week. To GD or not to GD, it's up to you. You know, follow your passions. If you really decide that graphic design is for you, then just go ahead and try it in a way, and then experience it as well as you go. So yeah, I guess that's about it. Any last word from you guys that you want to say or something?
Do what you love.
Yo.
Yes, do what you love. Okay, all right. Thank you everyone for being here. Thanks to the audience as well for being here. Thanks for the wonderful questions as well.
you.
And I guess see you guys see the audience again next. There will be another session next Saturday. I will be announcing it. Next Saturday, we're going to have different guests coming in as well to the sessions. And we shall meet next week, Thursday. So yeah, I guess thanks everyone for being here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Kamsahamnida.
Bye.
Kamsahamnida.
Bye.
Okay.